We are honored to welcome Brian Raleigh, a visionary leader in the television and film industry, as our commencement speaker today. With 25 years of experience, Brian currently serves as the Senior Vice President of Post-Production at Netflix Animation Studios. His impressive career includes executive roles in Netflix Live Action Division and the Walt Disney Company. Brian has led a 35-person global overhead team and has managed up to 150 editors across 60 active films and series, contributing to Emmy and Oscar-winning projects such as Bridgerton and Pinocchio. Brian's college journey began here at UCSB, where he spent his first 2 undergraduate years before earning his Bachelor of Arts degrees and a Master of Business Administration from Pepperdine University. He fondly considers Santa Barbara his home away from home, a sentiment that connects him deeply to our community. Beyond his professional achievements, Brian is a dedicated family man, happily married with 2 children. Together they embrace the value of togetherness, as recently showcased on an episode of Property Brothers Forever Home. So I'm going to have to find that. I'm going to have to look for that. I was pleased to meet Brian a few years ago and clearly saw his vision for the arts and humanities. Over the years, I've learned from him and have benefited from his expertise as a member of my external advisory board. Please join me in giving a warm UC Santa Barbara welcome to Brian Raleigh.
I knew you all would be very impressed by my Property Brothers episode. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge Chancellor Yang and Dr. Dean Barry and the distinguished faculty up here for their dedication and leadership to UC Santa Barbara. I only spent a few moments with them in the back, but I can tell there's a lot of love amongst these colleagues up here. So they're really great, so let's give them an applause. And thank you to the parents, grandparents, guardians, family members, and friends who supported these graduates through late-night study sessions, endless text threads, and likely countless loads of laundry. And to all the proud dads out there, happy Father's Day! But this moment is for you, the graduating class of 2025 in the Division of Humanities and Arts. You made it. Back quickly to the topic of proud dads. When I told my father that I'd be giving the UCSB commencement speech today, his immediate reaction was to start laughing. Like, tear from the eye, full-bodied laughing. It was not the reaction I was expecting. Once he caught his breath, he reminded me that I had a difficult time with my initial transition to UCSB. He likes to say that in my first quarter, I went from AP in high school, advanced placement, to AP in college, academic probation. I had embraced the Isla Vista culture a little too hard, and as a result, I lost myself academically. I had a 1.6 GPA. Thank you. He was laughing because he remembered how uncertain my future seemed at that time. And if someone had told him that I'd be standing here right now, he would not have believed it. So I am grateful and honored for this opportunity. For this speech, I intend to be the advanced placement version of myself, so I did a lot of preparation. I wanted to put myself in the mind of a person who's about to enter the professional world. I read articles, watched videos, listened to podcasts, and interviewed colleagues to learn about Gen Z and what's on their minds. My theory was that if I knew what was burdening you, then my corresponding wisdom and life lessons would magically appear in my brain. But that's not what happened. Instead, I felt anxious and overwhelmed and a little bit hopeless. Here's what I learned. You're lonelier than your parents were at your age, despite having more ways to connect than ever. AI is coming for your jobs faster than you can update your LinkedIn profile. Your phones have become both your best friend and your worst enemy. Oh, and the planet is heating up faster than the line at Freebirds on a Friday night. Freebirds aside, that's a lot of scary stuff to digest. It was at this point in my research that I started drafting an email to Dr. Barry to say, I don't think I want to do this anymore. But I had already booked my Airbnb on Trigo, and I was craving some wild bread from Woodstock, so I pressed on. To clear my head, I went on numerous long walks with my dog. I replayed my life experiences to hopefully find universal truths that might resonate with people in times of uncertainty. I landed on 3. 1, be there for your people. 2, be as vulnerable as possible. And 3, be a lifelong learner. First, let's talk about friendship. Not the kind you measure in followers or likes, but the real kind. These people sitting next to you, 25 years ago, I was sitting where you are, and I had no idea that the people beside me would become my lifeline. Today, my UCSB friends are the first people I text when I have great news and when my world is falling apart. They're also the only people in my life who still listen to the Dave Matthews Band, so take that for what it's worth. Dad, do you know what I'm talking about? So right now, yes, right now, I want you to do something. Turn to someone next to you, someone you care about. Give them a hug. Yeah, right? Feel the love. That hug to me means thank you for being a part of my life story. Because here's what I know. There will come a day when you will need them. But more importantly, there will come a day when they'll need you. And the most impactful and proudest moments of your life will be when you show up for them. Speaking of showing up in hard times, let me tell you the hardest lesson I ever learned. It's the power of vulnerability. A year ago, my then 13-year-old son, Reed, he got sick with what we thought was just a normal fever. It turned out to be scarlet fever. Yes, that still exists. And that led to something very serious called hip sepsis. His body was under attack, and his life was on the line. Seven uncertain days in the hospital, 2 emergency surgeries, and a scary amount of oxygen and antibiotics later, he was on the mend. This is a good ending to this, don't worry. Okay. But his hip was severely damaged. It required months of physical recovery, and my son, this independent, energetic kid, couldn't even walk. He needed help with everything. And for a 13-year-old boy, there's nothing more vulnerable than needing help to do the most basic things. But in that moment of vulnerability, something extraordinary emerged. Our community showed up. Friends appeared with meals, classmates sent endless funny videos, teachers came to our house to check on him. In our family's most vulnerable moment, we experienced the full power of human connection. I'm pleased to report that today Reed is doing great. Now, I know that's a pretty extreme example, but in a world where algorithms can predict your behaviors, it is your humanity, your ability to be vulnerable, to show up to others, to say, I need help. That's your superpower. We learn together through our human struggles. That's what no machine can replicate. Which brings me to my final message, the importance of being a lifelong learner. I'm about to date myself here, but when I started my career in post-production, my job was literally to deliver VHS tapes to executives' homes. Yes, VHS tapes. You can see the quiz in your eyes. You can Google it. Everything was going well, though. I had a comfortable career. I had been promoted a couple of times. I was good at what I did, both as a freelancer and in corporate post-production. But comfort can be a motivation killer. I could see the ceiling of my career approaching, so I did something that seemed crazy at the time. I went back to school at night to get my MBA. By the way, I did not hear any applause for Pepperdine when people said that I graduated from there. I clocked that. I thought what I was learning while I got my MBA were business skills to start my own company. Instead, that beginner's mindset led me to an unexpected job offer at ABC, where my role was to modernize their production process from the Stone Age to the digital age. And let me tell you, the Stone Age does not go quietly. Later, at Netflix, I had to learn to be a leader of people, not just a technology change agent. And just when I thought I had it all figured out, I jumped into animation, which was a field where I knew absolutely nothing. Looking back at it, the most valuable skill I gained along the way wasn't any specific expertise, it was learning how to learn. It was being willing to say, very willing to say, I don't know this yet, but I am going to figure it out. In a world that's changing as fast as ours, the ability to start over, to be a beginner again and again, is not just an asset, it is a requirement. Your generation will likely have careers that don't even exist yet. The tools you'll be using 5 years from now probably haven't been invented. But here's the thing I know about you. As graduates of the humanities and fine arts, you're already experts at questioning assumptions and seeing the world with fresh, critical eyes. Yes. So yes, the world is changing at a dizzying pace. Yes, AI is writing poems and making art. But remember this, friendships ground us, vulnerability connects us, and keeping a beginner's mindset ensures that we will never stop growing. As I leave you here today, I want you to remember 3 things. First, text your friends. Not just today, but next week, next month, next year. Send them that stupid meme that made you laugh. Share your victories and your struggles, because those friendships you forged here at UCSB are for life. Second, when life gets hard, and it will get hard, don't armor up, open up. This is true in your personal life as well as in your professional life. My biggest breakthroughs as a leader have not come from just sharing what's in my head, but also sharing what's on my heart. Ooh, and that felt cringy to say out loud, but I mean it. The vulnerability really prepares rooms for real conversations and real engagement. And finally, stay curious. When you don't know something, say it out loud. When technology changes, and it will change every 15 minutes, remember that your humanities degree taught you the most important skill of all: how to be a human in an increasingly inhuman world. I started this speech by listing all the reasons your generation should be freaked out. But looking at you now, I realize I got it wrong. Yes, you're facing unprecedented challenges, but you're also the most adaptable, empathetic, and creative generation we've ever seen. You don't just accept diversity, you demand it. You don't just want success, you want meaning. You don't just use technology, you question it. Class of 2025, you are not just graduates of UCSB's Division of Humanities and Fine Arts, you are storytellers, meaning makers, and world shapers. And while I can't tell you exactly what your future holds, I can tell you this: if you keep your friends close and your heart open and your mind ready to begin again and again, you won't just survive what's coming, you'll create what's next. Thank you and congratulations.